Hi, everybody. Hello, fellow seekers. I thought I'd give a little background on my spiritual path, so-called, whatever that is, or just the first glimmerings of my enlightenment thoughts and stuff like that. I remember really kind of first getting into something like that when I was in ninth grade. I was 14, and I was having a conversation with this guy who was a very intense sort of guy. He was a couple of years older than me. He was like 16. His name was Mike Lyons, and he was very Jim Morrison-like. He was very into Jim Morrison and stuff, too. But he was just in general kind of crazy guy and charismatic and sort of a rebel, you know what I mean? But anyway, we were talking about death and stuff, and it's hard to believe, but I hadn't even encountered the idea of reincarnation. I just was like, I thought you died and that was it, I mean, it's interesting to think but he said, I just think maybe when you die, your energy sort of joins with the rocks and the trees and becomes part of the energy of the universe, of all the living things in the universe and stuff. And I was like, wow. It's hard to believe now, but that was like a totally new idea to me, and I was like, wow. How about that? I don't know, it just made an impression on me, And I remember being sort of, at that age, when you think death is the end, totally, you have a certain kind of fear associated with death, and I very vividly remember that fear from when I was all growing up, I actually thought about death as being a very scary thing because I thought consciousness ended, and I remember like him saying that and me thinking that it was kind of like beautiful, and I sort of hoped it was true or something. But then I went home and I thought about it for a few days and stuff, and I sort of it sort of threw the switch on my whole mind about stuff, and I started to realize, oh yeah, there's some sort of cyclical thing going on, and then and death and life are just part of it, and then I came up with this idea that I said there's a universal way of things, and I remember telling both my mother and brother that, really, those words, and it's really kind of interesting to see now, because it was a very sort of pure state because I was only 14, but I was sort of like seeing the Tao, I was sort of seeing the like what Lao Tzu talks about, in the way of life, and the Tao Te Ching, and so I like realized that, like, when you die, some sort of a cycle goes on, and this whole thing, it just occurred to me. I was like, yes, something like that goes on. Things are cyclical, and it all sort of came together quickly, like for me, and I remember like talking to my brother about it, and he had like a bad reaction to it. I was saying, like, there, you really don't have to be afraid of dying, because it's just you becoming part of everything else, and you could even have like joy in it, and I remember he got up. He was like, joy in dying? He was like, I don't like this. And he like walked away or something. But I don't know. And I was like, oh, the ignorant don't understand, But I was too young to really like be totally sure that I knew what I was talking about. So I was kind of like, damn, why doesn't he like that? And I was like, fucking whatever. But I remember telling my mother about it too, And okay, I don't know how much time I have here, so I guess I'll get to the next thing. Oh yeah, but I wanted to say that earlier. I remember having some conversation with my mother. This is an example of kind of the same thing, just my early thought and stuff. I remember saying to her, and this is probably when I was about 10 or 11 or something. I just remember saying to her, like, I think that when you take the artistic perspective and the scientific perspective and like join them together, then that would be the secret of the universe. and she thought that was like really heavy for an 11-year-old or whatever, and it was kind of heavy, come to think of it. But I don't know. But so that was kind of cool, I guess. She was like, "Wow, honey, that's great." Anyway, so but like when I was even younger, my mother tells me that when I was like 3 or 4 or something, I said, and she thought this was really amazing. I'm not trying to make myself. This is starting to sound kind of conceited or something, but I'm just telling you about my thoughts and stuff. She said that I said, "Dad is both good and bad." And I guess that was pretty wild for a 3 or 4-year-old to say, But that blew her mind, She was like, "Wow, this 3 or 4-year-old is like really philosophical." I guess that's pretty philosophical for that age. I don't know. Anyway, I might continue this in the next one. I'll just make a few of them so they don't go over the time. Alright, see you.